Welcome. You are about to drift through deep time into a story written in stone and silence. As your body rests, let your mind become as still as the desert at night. Somewhere far away, the wind moves across a vast plateau. A river glimmers under the stars. The air is cool and clear, scented with sage and dust. This is the land of patience, a place that has been dreaming for millions of years, long before there were people or mountains. This land was soft and low. At times, it lay beneath warm, shallow seas where sunlight shimmered through clear water and small creatures built their delicate shells. Those shells drifted to the seabed, settled among grains of sand, and slowly turned to stone. Layer by layer, the ocean left behind limestone, pale, quiet, enduring. When the sea withdrew, new worlds appeared. Rivers braided across wide plains. Forests grew and vanished. Red deserts swept in, their dunes piling high and then turning to sandstone. Each change left a trace, a new page in the planet's memory. Hundreds of millions of years passed in this way, seas returning and fading, deserts breathing across the land, rain carving channels that filled and vanished again. Beneath it all, the earth turned slowly in its sleep. The rocks thickened, hardened, and pressed together under their own weight. Time here did not hurry. It simply accumulated, sand upon sand, century upon century, until the crust grew restless. Far below, molten rock shifted and sighed. The continent began to lift, almost imperceptibly. What had once been a low coastal plain rose higher and higher, like a giant stone table being pushed from beneath. Geologists call it the Colorado Plateau. It stretches across 4 modern states: Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. A broad, steady uplift that carried its ancient layers upward without folding or breaking them. That quiet rise is one of the reasons the canyon's walls appear so perfectly stacked today. The rock lifted gently, keeping its history intact. Above the plateau, seasons changed as they always had. Winter brought snow to distant mountains. Spring brought meltwater that spilled into streams. Each rivulet sought the same destination, a path downhill, a route toward the sea. They merged, twisting through the high country until they became a single ribbon of movement, the Colorado River. At first, the river meandered lazily across its plateau, curving in wide loops over soft stone. But the higher the land rose, the steeper the river's path became. Gravity drew the water downward with greater force, and the current began to cut into the rock. The process was slow beyond imagining. Grain by grain, storm by storm, the river began its patient work. Every drop of rain that fell upon the plateau joined in the effort. In summer, sudden downpours loosened soil and sent sheets of muddy water racing through gullies. In winter, freezing nights widened tiny cracks in the rock, and when the ice melted, fragments broke free and tumbled toward the channel below. Each particle, a fleck of sand, a sliver of shale, became a tool of erosion. Carried along by the current, it scraped and polished the riverbed, deepening the path just a little more. Scientists believe that around 5 or 6 million years ago, the Colorado River found a new outlet to the Gulf of California. That connection gave the river a sharper drop in elevation, increasing its power to erode. From then on, it cut more quickly through the rising plateau, carving the first recognizable shape of the Grand Canyon. Even so, quickly in geologic time still means ages upon ages. The river has never stopped working. It only pauses between storms, its surface glinting like glass while it gathers strength again. Imagine standing beside it during those early ages. The cliffs tower above you in layers of color: cream, rose, rust, gold, each telling of a vanished sea or a wandering desert. The sound of water echoes between the walls, steady and unhurried. This is the voice of patience. It is the voice of the canyon itself. For millions of years, the river and the land have been in conversation. The water insists on movement. The stone resists but yields by degrees. In that balance between force and stillness, beauty is born. The canyon deepens, not through violence, but through persistence, through the endless repetition of small moments: a drop of rain, a gust of wind, the crumble of a ledge, the sigh of a river. Above the rim, life begins to gather. Seedlings take root in cracks where dust has collected. Tiny lizards warm themselves on sun-bleached rock. Clouds drift by, their shadows sweeping across miles of silence. Everything here moves slowly enough for you to see time happening, not the rush of hours, but the long pulse of Earth itself. Now, the plateau stands more than a mile high. The air is thin and clear, and the horizon stretches so far that the curvature of the planet seems visible. From this height, the river below looks almost still, a silver thread winding through endless stone, but its patience never falters. Even now, it carries sand toward distant seas, reshaping the canyon one breath at a time. If you could touch the walls, you would feel history in your palm. Limestone from the days of shallow oceans, sandstone from ancient dunes, shale that once held the tracks of forgotten creatures. Every layer holds a memory of climate, water, and life. When scientists read these rocks, they read the autobiography of the continent. Look closely and you'll see fossils, shells, coral, trilobites. They are quiet signatures from lives lived hundreds of millions of years ago. Their shapes remain delicate even as the world around them has changed beyond recognition. They remind us that endurance can be gentle. As time flows on, the canyon grows deeper and more complex. Tributary streams join the main river, carving side canyons that twist like branching veins. Rainstorms chisel the cliffs into terraces and spires. Wind carries dust from one rim to another, slowly polishing the edges of stone. In daylight, the canyon burns with color, gold at sunrise, crimson at noon, violet at dusk. At night, it cools into shadow, and stars bloom above the rim in impossible numbers. The river continues its conversation with the rock, a dialogue of patience and gravity. To watch it is to understand that change does not always mean loss. Sometimes it means revealing what was always there, waiting to be seen. When you imagine this process, the lifting land, the flowing water, the quiet erosion of time, you begin to sense the rhythm of geologic life. It is slower than thought, slower even than dreams, yet it shapes everything. Mountains rise and crumble, oceans come and go. Through it all, the canyon deepens, becoming a mirror for the sky. Far beneath the cliffs, the oldest rocks of all shimmer with mica and quartz. They are nearly 2 billion years old, remnants of ancient mountain roots forged under heat and pressure long before fish or forests existed. Touch them in your mind, and you touch the early earth. The temperature of that memory is cool now, but once it burned with fire. The story of the canyon is also the story of transformation. Water into vapor, sand into stone, pressure into beauty. It teaches that nothing is truly still. Even stone moves if you can wait long enough to see it. The Grand Canyon is not a wound on the planet's surface. It is a revelation. The earth showing us its inner self, layer by patient layer. When wind brushes through the juniper trees along the rim, it carries the scent of dust and pine. It is the same wind that once skimmed across ancient seas, the same air that lifted the first grains of desert sand. Everything recycles. Nothing is lost. The atoms in your breath tonight have circled this planet for billions of years, rising from oceans, crossing mountains, drifting through canyons, returning again to air. Time in this place is circular. It has no hurry, no edge. Even now, as night settles, the river continues its work unseen, whispering to the walls. If you listen closely, you can almost hear it, a low murmur that sounds like sleep itself. Dawn breaks over the rim, gentle and pale. The light doesn't rush. It glides across the horizon, brushing each layer of stone as though waking the world, one color at a time. Gold touches red, red deepens to amber, and the river catches the glow like molten glass. The air holds its breath. Another day begins in a landscape that measures time not in hours, but in ages. The canyon's walls rise like an amphitheater for silence. Each line of color is a record of an ancient world. Near the top lies Kaibab limestone, formed in warm seas that lapped across what would one day be Arizona, filled with marine fossils and coral fragments. Beneath that sits the Coconino sandstone, born of wind-blown dunes that marched across vast deserts nearly 275 million years ago. Below the sandstone lies the bright Angel Shale, green-gray layers of silt that once settled on the floor of a Cambrian sea. Go deeper still, and you reach the Vishnu schist, black and glittering, formed from volcanic rock more than 1.7 billion years old. Every stratum holds a memory. Each is a story written in minerals instead of words. Together, they are the autobiography of Earth. When scientists descend into the canyon, they don't just hike downward, they move backward through time, step by step, one era to the next. To walk to the river is to walk across 2 billion years of history. The scale of that number can feel almost impossible to grasp. Yet here, surrounded by silence, it feels comforting. The rocks are patient. They have seen oceans rise and mountains vanish, forests bloom and disappear. They remind us that nothing lasts forever, not sorrow, not uncertainty, and that change itself is the oldest rhythm in existence. Wind glides through the corridors of stone. It carries whispers of dust and juniper, echoes that swirl upward like smoke. Occasionally, a raven cuts through the air, its wings spreading wide, its cry rolling against the cliffs and back again. Even sound takes on a slower pace here. Everything that moves becomes part of the canyon's quiet music. If you were to look closely at the rocks near your feet, you might find the faint outline of a trilobite, a tiny creature that once crawled along the seafloor, 500 million years ago. Its shell, pressed flat and fossilized, now rests hundreds of miles from any ocean. The canyon keeps these secrets effortlessly, storing them in the stillness of its walls. Far above, clouds drift like sails across the blue. When rain falls here, it comes suddenly, heavy drops striking the warm stone, releasing the scent of wet dust. Water gathers in rivulets that trickle toward the cliffs, slipping into cracks, feeding small springs. Some of this water will reach the Colorado River and join its endless journey. Some will disappear into the ground, waiting centuries before re-emerging. Even the rain moves at the canyon's pace. As day fades toward evening, shadows grow long. The sunlight softens from gold to rose, then to a deep violet. The temperature drops quickly. The desert breathes out its stored heat. Bats flicker through the dimming air, tracing arcs between the walls. In this moment, the canyon feels both infinite and intimate, a cathedral of stone lit by a single star. Long before explorers arrived to map its edges, the canyon was home to many peoples. The ancestral Puebloans lived among its cliffs, building dwellings of stone and mud high above the river. They planted corn on small plateaus, hunted in the valleys, and followed the rhythms of the seasons. For them, this was not an empty land, but a sacred one, a place where earth, water, and sky met in harmony. Generations later came the Hopi, the Havasupai, the Hualapai, and the Navajo. Each carried their own stories of creation and belonging. Some say the canyon was formed by a great serpent that carved the world as it moved. Others say it is the doorway to the spirit realm, a place where the voices of ancestors still echo. To stand here, they believe, is to stand between worlds. When Spanish explorers first glimpsed the canyon in the 1500s, they were struck silent. They called it El Gran Cañón, the Great Canyon, and could find no words to match its scale. Later, in 1869, a one-armed geologist named John Wesley Powell led the first expedition to navigate the Colorado River through its depths. His journals describe towering cliffs, violent rapids, and nights spent listening to the wind hum against the walls. He wrote that the silence was more vast than any sound he had ever known. Since then, millions of visitors have stood at the rim, looking down into the same depths. They speak in hushed tones, as though in the presence of something living. No photograph can quite hold the feeling of it, the sense that you are standing at the edge of time itself. The canyon has that effect. It hushes the noise of thought, leaving only awe. Now, imagine yourself there as night begins to fall. The last light fades from the cliffs. The horizon glows faintly before surrendering to darkness. Stars appear one by one until the sky becomes a vast ocean of light. The Milky Way arches above, its reflection trembling on the surface of the river below. It feels as though the canyon and the cosmos are looking at each other, mirrors of stone and star. You find a comfortable place to rest, perhaps on a smooth ledge of sandstone still warm from the day. The rock supports you easily. It has been holding the world for ages. Far below, you hear the whisper of the river, steady, eternal, a lullaby made of water and time. Its voice rises softly through the night, mingling with the breath of the wind. As you listen, your mind begins to quiet. Each layer of thought falls away like the canyon's own layers of stone. Worry gives way to wonder. Tension gives way to ease. You begin to feel the same slow rhythm that has shaped this land, a rhythm that asks for nothing except stillness. In that stillness, the boundaries between you and the canyon begin to blur. You are part of its story, as it is part of yours. The minerals in your bones were once dust in ancient mountains. The water in your body may have flowed through this very river long ago. Even the air you breathe carries atoms that once danced in these desert winds. Everything connects. Everything continues. The canyon teaches this without words. It shows that creation is not a single event, but a constant unfolding. Every stone, every ripple of water, every grain of sand is part of an unending cycle of change. The longer you sit in the dark, the more you sense the planet's quiet heartbeat. It moves through the ground, through the river, through you. There is no hurry in it, only a calm certainty that everything finds its place in time. High above, the constellations turn slowly. Orion rises over the eastern rim. The Big Dipper tips toward the north, and a meteor burns briefly and is gone. The canyon absorbs even that, light fading into shadow, energy returning to silence. You close your eyes and see the shapes of epochs drifting behind them. Mountains rise and fall. Oceans flood the land and retreat again. Forests bloom, then turn to cold. creatures evolve, walk, disappear. Through it all, the river keeps flowing, carving deeper, whispering the same song. It says, patience creates beauty, time heals stone, stillness reveals truth. You let those words settle inside you like sand settling to the bottom of a pool. You begin to breathe in rhythm with the river. The air feels cooler now. The stars feel closer. The world has slowed to the canyon's pace. Far away, a coyote calls, once, then twice, and the sound fades into the walls. The echo takes a long time to die. When it does, only the hush of water remains. That hush feels endless. The Grand Canyon has been forming for millions of years, and it is not finished. Every storm, every freeze, every drop of rain continues the work. Even now, this moment, this breath, is part of its making. The story is still being written. If you could look ahead millions of years, you would see the canyon changed again. Cliffs collapsed, new terraces formed, the river winding along a slightly different path. It would still be beautiful, still vast, still speaking softly to the sky. And somewhere in that future silence, a trace of this night would remain, a fragment of your breath carried on the desert wind. The thought is peaceful. Nothing truly disappears. Everything becomes part of something else. The same process that shapes the canyon shapes us, slowly, patiently, with kindness disguised as time. The stars drift westward. The river gleams faintly in their reflection. The air is cool now, perfectly still. You feel the weight of your body sink into the stone beneath you. Your heartbeat slows until it matches the rhythm of the river. In this place, there is no need to remember or to plan, only to rest. You are as old as this land, as young as the coming dawn. You are part of the Grand Canyon's 5 million year dream. The wind sighs once more across the plateau. The river hums its endless lullaby. Above it all, the stars shimmer quietly, keeping watch. The canyon dreams on, vast, patient, eternal, and carries you gently into its sleep.